You are watching SportsCenter with Elle Duncan and Hannah Storm. We're going to get to Blazers the Broken in a minute.
Well done.
Yeah, they're looking to avoid the sleep, but we're going to keep it out Westeros to start the show.
Oh, I love it. All right, so Game of Thrones is over, sadly, but the fight for the NBA throne is still up for grabs. And as for the Lakers throne, well, as the saying goes, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. Magic Johnson, some frank details of what went wrong this morning in LA. A First Take exclusive, and here's what Magic had to say. Among his revelations, General Manager Rob Pelinka spread the notion that he was not in the office enough. He also said he had to monitor the Bus brothers and that he wanted Luke Walton to be replaced, but met with resistance, and then the addition of COO Tim Harris in the process. Here is a portion of the conversation with Magic.
The straw that broke the camel's back was I wanted to fire Luke Walton. And we had max 3 meetings. I showed her the things he did well and the things he didn't do well. And I said, listen, we got to get a better coach. I like him. He's great. Former Laker, the whole thing. So the first day, well, let's think about it. Second day, okay, you can fire him. Then the next day, no, we should try to work it out. So when we went back and forth like that, and then she brought Tim Harris into the meeting, some of the guys. And Tim, wanted to keep him because he was friends with Luke. And Luke's a great guy, great guy.
He is.
And so when I looked up and said, wait a minute, I only really answer to Jeannie Buss. Now I got Tim involved. And I said, it's time for me to go. And then I start hearing, Magic, you're not working hard enough. Magic's not in the office. So people around the Laker office was telling me, Rob was saying things. And
Rob Pelinka.
And I didn't like those things being said behind my back, that I wasn't in the office enough and so on and on. What happened was I wasn't having fun coming to work anymore. Mm-hmm. Especially when I got to work beside you, knowing that you want my position. And I'm okay with that. Because this is what happened, Stephen A. I told him in year 2, I'm only going to be here 3 years. So my job is, Rob, to get you ready for this position. But right now, everybody has a voice. And it's too much. That's why sometimes we don't make the right decision, right? So I'm hoping that with me leaving, that they can get it right, because I'm supporting them. I love them, love all of them, right? But I'm here on this show to say, listen, this is what we have to do.
So Adrian Wojnarowski is with us as we try to, pull apart everything that was said, and that was just a portion of a very long conversation. He identifies Rob Pelinka, the GM, a guy that he didn't hire, didn't know, as quote-unquote backstabbing him, among other things. Just an epic takedown of the front office. From what you know, what was true and what wasn't that was said today? How accurate was that portrayal?
Well, what was confusing to me was Magic said that Rob Pelinka backstabbed him because he told people that he wasn't in the office. And then Magic admitted, I wasn't in the office. And everybody knew Magic wasn't in the office. He wasn't putting the time in. And it wasn't like he was on the road scouting and, at college games, or he was running, whatever it was. He has his businesses and vacationing and all those things. So, listen, I talked to Rob Pelinka. I talked to a lot of GMs in the league regularly. I never heard a disparaging remark about Magic Johnson. I didn't, but that doesn't mean it wasn't said to somebody else. But if the criticism is that, and I would understand if people around the office are going, I have a question, or we need to have a meeting, or we need to discuss something. Where's Magic? And if the answer is he's not here, he's gone, maybe Magic construes that as backstabbing, but Magic himself admitted he wasn't in there doing the job.
It's really a tangled web when you have a Pelinka, who was Kobe Bryant's agent, then he's hired almost simultaneously with Magic taking the job, but not in conjunction with Magic. So right there, the setup for maybe 2 people with a lot of power not being on the same page. So you got, Kobe's camp, you got Magic here, you've got LeBron James, for goodness sake, and Jeannie Buss in the middle of it all. How does that work, and what are we looking at going forward?
Hannah, and that's what it gets back to. This gets back to ownership and putting a structure in place that, just by how you described, how it was put together, a president and a GM, neither of whom had done their jobs before elsewhere, that it was set up to probably not go well. And the fact that they did get LeBron James in free agency covered up a lot of that. But maybe LeBron was going to come regardless. I don't know that they recruited him there, but you have to give him credit. He came under their watch. But look at the good organizations in the league and the leadership they have on top, from ownership to a president to a GM to the people in place. Look across at Staples Center with the Clippers and the kind of management group they have together there. It is hard to compete with that. And saying we're the Lakers and we're the league's most historic franchise, that's not enough. That doesn't just get players there. It doesn't make things run well. And the Lakers have a problem. It begins with ownership by allowing this dynamic to unravel the way it did.
Magic Johnson has been a beloved figure for many reasons, very successful businessman, and was coming under criticism for the way things went down, particularly after what happened with Anthony Davis. So he was hearing negative things said about him for really the first time, putting him in an uncomfortable situation. He said he still loves the Lakers, wants to go to the games, and then he said something really interesting: I would buy the team. How much of that entire conversation today was about him potentially making a play in the court of public opinion?
Hannah, it felt to me in listening to it that was the priority there, was to get that out there into the public, that he would like to own the team. And he certainly didn't stop short when asked whether Jeannie Buss should consider selling the team. I mean, he didn't say absolutely not. She should hold on to it for years. That's not exactly how he answered it. But Magic Johnson, there will be a lot of people in line, whether that's he mentioned Kobe Bryant. LeBron James has talked about wanting to get involved in ownership at some point in the league. And these are all people who would be able to go out and get an ownership group together and get the kind of people it would take to go get a $4 or a $5 billion bid. And then you would head that bid, like people like Kobe, LeBron, Magic. They don't necessarily have to put a lot of their own money in. And this is another stratosphere. But we're not there. Jeannie Buss owns this team. It's with the Buss family, but I thought as much as anything, that's what Magic wanted to get out today.
I tell you what, and it was very interesting timing, because in just a couple hours, the team is going to introduce their new head coach, Frank Vogel. So talk about taking the wind out of those sails and him potentially facing some tough questions today. Maybe not a coincidence.
Yeah, it'll be, listen, Frank Vogel walks into a tough spot, but it's tough. Coaching the Lakers, it's tough running the Lakers. I mean, welcome to the real world.
Yeah, Adrian Wojnarowski with some real insight. Thank you so much. Much more on this story to come on SportsCenter.